Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video for you all about witchcraft basically, which sounds super crazy and gnarly, but I swear to you that that's not the case. Like this is why I wanted to do this. I want to break it down for everybody, and just show everybody like the different tools of divination. If I keep looking down, it's because I've got a piece of paper with like heaps of information on it of different keys, like topics that I want to talk about today. And I just brought like half of my collection out, probably not half, like mainly half, but yeah, brought it out for you guys. It's really hard for me to look into the camera as well because this light is so bright. These fucking selfie sticks, I've got to like change it up. I don't know, does that make like, I don't know how it looks now. Is that bright enough? I think that's a bit better. The glare's just hectic, like I'm not used to this. I'm used to like doing my readings and having the camera down on the table, like I used to just chuck my phone up with no selfie light, but I'm trying to build an aesthetic in here. So anyway, let's get to this. Yeah, so I want to call this segment witch shit because it's just like all the shit that witches use, and the stuff, the tools of divination, and tools that you need if you'd like to practice witchcraft. If you're just a beginner as well, I thought like this would be really good for beginners. If you don't know where to start, like obviously again, you don't have to do all of these things or have all of these things, but I highly recommend most of it. Like this is the basics basically, of like different things that you need to like use and do when it comes to being a witch. And also I just want to quickly, I want to do this, I want to show you guys. So I bought this wish chart ages ago and I just like never used it. And then I was just looking at it before and I'm like, this is so dope. Like what I want to do is I just want everybody to send in their wishes, like in the comment section or privately message me on Instagram or email me. All of the stuff will be in the description box. But yeah, I just want people to, like the collective, to just give me their wishes. I'll write them down and I'll take a photo of it if you want me to, and I'm going to put it in here and just have this like really cool like collective wish jar to just collect everybody's wishes and just, you know, meditate over it and send it self-love and good frequencies and have some crystals on the top and stuff. So yeah, we can just manifest our dreams and our wishes, and it can be anything. Like you can wish for world peace or like just something really mundane and simple, whatever you would like. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I think I'm going to do that for everything I record, podcasts, tarot readings, all of that. So yeah, I thought that was cute. So let me know your wishes, guys. Oh, what was I talking about before this though? I was going to start saying something, but lost track now. The glories of live recording. How fun. I could edit this out, but why? It's not real. I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. But all right, well, let's get it started. Hey, I'm sure I'm going to go off on like so many different tangents in this, so please bear with me. But in saying that, I will have timestamps for each subject. So if it's something that you already know or you just don't want to listen to, that's fine. Skip to something that you want to know. So I'm going to start off with tarot and oracle cards. I thought it'd be helpful to maybe tell just a little bit of the history without getting like so deep and like analytical into it all. Just a little bit about tarot and where it comes from and what it is and what does it do and what role does it play. And also it's really coming back into trend now. Like a lot of people own tarot cards just for the fuck of it without actually really understanding the power of them and you know, what they can do for you on a soul level and just an everyday like level and through cycles and stuff like that. So you're probably thinking, if you don't already know, what's the difference between tarot and oracle? So a tarot deck, okay, I'm skipping too far ahead now. Let's go back to a bit of the history. So tarot was around before oracle. The funny thing about oracle is the actual meaning of it is like, we are the oracle, like you are the oracle, like you are the channeler. These are just, again, a divination tool. Like, that's what tools of divination are when I say that. And you're probably thinking, what does she mean? It means it's just a tool to help aid you and your inner knowing and your inner powers and your ability to do these things. So they're just like an extension of you, basically. So with tarot, I'm pretty sure it comes from Italy. Like, I researched this ages ago, so I can't even remember. But I'm pretty sure it comes from Italy. Like, that's where it started, and it was actually a game. So with tarot, every tarot deck, if they claim it's a tarot deck, you'll know straight away, because you have to have the major and the minor arcana in it, and the court cards and stuff like that. So the major arcana is, I've got a tarot deck right here. The ones that are very like traditional and a lot of people do own is the Rider-Waite deck. That's a good one to get if that's, you know, you're starting off, because it's very straightforward. You do have other tarot decks that have the same meanings. It has all the same like court cards and stuff, different interpretations depending on the author and the person who's written it, but still the same meaning. So you can read them in the same way. And that's what people are used to. So like, look, the High Priestess, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, the Emperor, King of Swords. So yeah, that has the major and the minor arcana in it. Couldn't have all different types of illustrations, but a tarot deck will have those titlings. Some tarot deck makers like to start fucking around with the basis of it, and like will change, you know, wands to something else, whatever they're trying to like whatever like creative avenue they're trying to steer their deck down. Like, say if it's just off the top of my head, say it's about candy, like the wands, they'll turn that into like a lollipop or something like that. But it still has the same basis. You just might have to learn, obviously, if you're into this and you enjoy this, then you won't have any problem reading into it and learning, you know, which one's which. So I recommend, though, for beginners to just get a Rider-Waite. This isn't a Rider-Waite. This is, I actually don't remember who made this one and what it's even called, but it's one of my favorite tarot decks. Good job, Amanda. You should have probably fucking researched that beforehand. But anyway, so that's tarot for you. And then we go on to oracle. When I was getting into cards many moons ago, because I'm an old lady now. No, when I was getting into cards, I was told by a few people, especially, believe it or not, owners of like crystal shops and, you know, spiritual shops that sell all of this stuff. They were like, oh, oracle's the way to go. That's, you know, it's a lot more like softer and heart handful. What the fuck did I just say? I don't know what heart handful means. Guys, you're gonna have to just decipher and sift through my gibberish. Fucking hell. Anyway, get back into it. Get back into your group. So, oracle, again, like I was saying before, you are the oracle. So there's so many different oracle decks. There's so many, like, I can't even fathom. Like, it's actually quite ridiculous, but it's like, why? But you, again, I have a post about this pretty far back on my Instagram about like your decks will come to you. Like they have their rightful owners. Like even if it's not for a whole lifetime, I've had decks donated to me before, but they will serve you when they're supposed to serve you, and if they don't serve you, then that's a sign saying move along. Like I really feel like that is such a better way than just people pumping out so many decks, and it's just like, why? Like I understand people are trying to like channel their creativity and stuff like that, but like literally you can make a fucking oracle about anything, like anything. I've seen the most wildest shit out there, but I'm going to just go back again to like the basic, more common, more popular ones. Angel decks are great because obviously like once you get into this world of divination and on your spiritual path, you're going to want to work with your angels. And if at the start you're not really tapped into your other senses, like that being, you know, clairaudiency or like clairvoyancy or stuff like that, the best way to get messages from your angels and from your spirit team is through oracle. So like these beautiful cards were written by Doreen Virtue. Again, if you're in this community, most people know her. She's actually like a full Christian now, which I think is fucking gnarly, but like whatever, boo, you do what suits you. Not shading on anyone's religion or anything, like look what the fuck I'm talking about. But I just think it's crazy because this woman, like, look, and Grant Virtue, I think that's her son, is it? Yeah, it's her son. So this woman and her son, picture of her on the back, you can see that. They made like so many of these angel decks, like so many. And like I guess it doesn't really surprise me that much because like angels are a huge part of the Catholic and the Christian religion. Like obviously like they believe in angels and stuff like that, but yeah, these are beautiful. Like they have, you know, proper messages from your angels. So like this one, attracting, not chasing. Anything or any more you chase after will run. Oh, sorry. Again, brain mouth farting. What the fuck am I doing? Anyway, anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fear of underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So drop the chasing and just sit with yourself and admit love, and then the love will come to you as opposed to you chasing, which is so much easier fucking said than done. I'm telling you right now, boo. I'm actually like, this card is coming out for me because I needed to hear this, because I need that confirmation. It's not that I don't know it. It's not telling you what you don't know. Like obviously you will find information that you've never heard or seen before, but a lot of it is just them giving you that reminder, that update. So yeah, that's angel cards for you. That's just one form of oracle. We'll go on to the next, otherwise I'm just going to keep going on about that. Put these aside. So like we've got like these ones, sacred power. So like this is more, if you can see at the back, there's like a rainbow dragon, intuition, retreat, animal kingdom, and then obviously each deck will have a book to it. If it doesn't have a physical book, like these ones, did not come with books. They're just cards, but you can go online. If the card, I'll go into that in a second, but like see this, it's just a picture and a word, but then you go into the book and find a full scripture basically. So yeah, they're going to vary again. Some have heaps of information, some have little information. I feel like the ones with little information is more for you to read intuitively, so you can you know, decipher in your own mind with your own decisions like what it's trying to tell you. It's going to resonate different with every single person. Like one person can look at something and another person can look at something and see something completely different. That's just perspective. That's just facts. So onto like these ones that I was saying that don't have books like this. These are more affirmation cards, still classed as an oracle, but this Didn't come with a book, doesn't have a book, because the cards alone, again, have just their message on them. And you take what it is. So, like, look, openness is my true nature. Like, that's it. They're really good to have in the morning or at the end of the day. Just anytime, like on your lunch break, put some in your car and just pop one out and just see, you know, just to give you a little bit of a zhuzh and a little bit of a, you know, a feeling in your soul. And yeah, and they're great. I love affirmation cards for that. So like, again, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I brought this one out. Like, they've got the most craziest raid, but like, this is just food. And it doesn't come with a book because the author, the illustrator, said like, I don't want you to actually use it as a tarot deck. I want you to use it as like a game, basically. Again, like how they used to do it in Italy. It was actually used as like, well, think of like a normal deck of cards, hey? And, you know, you've got like the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Diamonds and the Ten of Diamonds and the Ten of Spades and all of that. That's, you know, used for games, like gaming, like the old school gaming before we had like computers and shit like that. So like that's how far we're going. We're going like mid-century, I'm pretty sure, when like the art evolution of like art and stuff started to come through. That's when tarot came through. And yeah, they used to do it to like as a game. So yeah, this one, it's all just food and you're supposed to just like pick like what you want for dinner or whatever. But it's actually got like little elemental, like little elements on them. I'll show you quickly. So I wrote it down one night. It took me fucking ages. And I tried to just like, okay, which card is this? Is this like the Hierophant? Is this the Empress? Like, is this the Ten of Cups? And I made it like, because it's got the exact same amount as a tarot deck does. So, oh, and that's another thing. So oracle cards have a different amount. How much does, I should have fucking Googled this. I can't remember. I think it's 76 cards in a tarot deck, in a traditional tarot deck. Oracles can have as many as they want, like, because again, it's just the person's the oracle, like the person creating it, and you channeling it, you're the oracle, so it doesn't really matter. But with that, again, it's a suit, it's a court of cards, like, so yeah, they will always have that amount. So at least you know if you've got one missing, because yeah, don't correct me if it's 76. I can't remember. There's a lot of information to retain. So that's cards for you. They're the different types of cards that there are. Fucking crazy, eh? Like, there's so many. It's next level. So when it comes to reading cards, people kind of ask me like, how do you do it? How do you remember all of them, especially with tarot? Like, how do you remember all the cards and their definitions and their meanings? So when I learnt how to read tarot, I obviously looked at as many different ways that I could learn it, and what was going to work best for me. And I think this probably works best for most. You can sit there and go through every card and go through every meaning and, you know, archive that up in your brain. Like, it depends how your brain works and how it, you know, retains information and stores it. But the best way is, if you're not like good with that, like retaining a lot of analytical and like literal, you know, literature, that's what the word I was looking for, then the best way is to just like intuitively read them. And that's what I try to do on my channel. Whenever I'm reading, like, I just try to show people, like, can you see this? Can you see that? So like, you can see with this guy, he's the King of Swords. So he's sitting there with a sword on his throne, but the other things in the card are like scales. So, you know, you look at different elements and different aspects to help interpret that. And then obviously over time, like, once you read books, it will, like, it just takes time. It's a lifelong thing, you know what I mean? You don't need to rush these things, even though you feel like you do, and you have to be at a certain, you know, level of it. Otherwise, you're just going to quit and not like, that's not the point of that. If you're that type of person, if you are trying to do something to finish it and have an end goal, click off like this video right now, because there's no end goal. Like, again, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of living. So I might do a separate video, because that's just a whole other kettle of fish, eh? Like, you will figure out what works for you and what doesn't work for you. So yeah, that's cards for you. I thought that was like the main big one that people are probably interested in. Another thing I get, like, so many people ask me this: how do I know I'm a witch? How did you know you were a witch? Like, okay, so anybody can be a witch, any sex, any gender, any race. Like, it's again up to you. It's if you choose to live this like life of divination and self-care and self-love and um trying to elevate your perspective and open your mind up to different things that we've been taught from young age, and societal norms and structures, that this is wacko and it is crazy and we don't have these abilities. But they they tell us that because they don't want us to have these abilities. The government, the people in charge, the elites, all these things, they don't want everyday normal people to understand that they have so much more power than they have, like, in a literal sense and in a metaphysical sense. Like, so we know that now, especially after these fucking pandemics and shit like that, and just the new earth awakening and people's consciousness is shifting and elevating to different levels. But yeah, with me personally, my grandmother, I'm Croatian, half Croatian. I'm Australian. I live in Australia. I was born in Australia, but my whole father's side of my family immigrated from Croatia in former Yugoslavia. And my baka, which is my grandmother, was a witch. And she basically raised me from birth. Like, she's my second mother. So I witnessed a lot of just home rituals and just traditional Balkan witchcraft. She was like a herbalist as well, like, had an amazing garden, produced a lot of stuff, and just a very, like, in touch with her alchemy, and just an amazing woman. And I miss her so dearly. She's not with me anymore. Like, she left this beautiful earth like quite a while ago now. But yeah, when I was a little girl, I used to sit with her and do all of that, and witnessed all of that. And just when she passed away, I found a lot of stuff that she didn't show me, because obviously I was a little girl and she didn't want to freak me out and stuff like that. But we found a lot of stuff, like, in regards to her tools of divination and stuff like that. But yeah, so I've been born into it. And then obviously, like, I wasn't a practicing witch for quite a while after I lost her, and just had other, like, life things happen. But I'm going to go deeper into all of that, like, in my podcasts. This is just more about witchcraft and stuff. But just to let you guys know, like, it's either or. You just know, you can feel it in you. If you're a witch, you're a witch. Like, don't let nobody fucking tell you you're not. Like, and don't let Hollywood and, like, all this shit get into your, like, mind and perception to let you think that, like, it's this really, like, one way narrow thing, because it's not. This is what I'm trying to show you. Like, I don't even own a book of shadows at all, because I'm not I don't fuck with black magic. I just don't. Like, I'm a light being. I'm on like a higher frequency. Oh shit, my ears just started to ring hectic. But yeah, so I just don't fuck with the black shit, because it's just like, I don't want that negative black dark shadow. Like, I'm highly aware of the shadow aspects of life. I fucking don't even, again, podcasts, we will talk more about that. But yeah, I'm a white witch. So, and it's not as, like, all super gothic and just, like, dark and, like, pagan, very very pagan. Like, I'm barely a pagan. Like, I love the aspects of it and stuff, but I don't present as that. I'm my own thing and my own individual person, and I think that's what's so beautiful about this new wave of like new age witchcraft and spiritual like beings and healing and stuff like that, and people wanting to heal themselves and be a better version of themselves, to present a better version to the world, and to live in a better world, basically, like if it's, you know, possible or not. So if you a witch, honey, you a witch. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm fucking getting at. Okay, so next thing, next thing. I think I'm getting all like hyped up with the crystals. Okay, it's crystals, guys. That's what it is. It's like a crystal. So crystals. Welcome to the world of crystals, you guys. Ooh! Shit. Where the fuck did that go? There it is. Sorry, guys. You guys have probably seen my little old woggy crystal goblet that I just like fucking flash everywhere because I'm so proud of it, because it's so me. Anyway, there's so many different crystals, and I know y'all know that. You don't even need to fuck with this shit to know that there's like so many fucking crystals out there, and it's just like, what are all their meanings? So much, all these cards and these crystals and these It's fun. Again, what is meant for you will come to you, so your crystals will come to you. I don't even have that fucking big of a crystal collection compared to some people. Some people, like, that's what I mean. You'll find your niche. You'll find what you fucks with like the most, you know what I mean? Like, with me, it's cards. I love cards, and I love books. I love books and immersing myself in knowledge like so much. So that they're mine. But like some people, it's crystals. They just love them and they're just drawn to them, which I totally understand, because they like got their little life of their own. Just imagine it like it's like a flower, or you know, a living thing. Like it's an energetic, like that comes from the earth, and that's the craziest thing about it. Like some crystals are more expensive than diamonds and like other minerals and what are they called? Like periodic elements. Yeah. Yeah, like just different elemental things, like, you know, stones and rocks and I'm trying to think of the word. There's another word, you know what I mean? Like the resources that come from the earth, like you got, you know, energy and fuel and oil, and like, you know, like oil fucking costs so much and stuff like that. And gold, yes, gold, that's another thing. Some of them are more expensive than gold, and like opals, and gold's not even that expensive anymore, I don't think, is it? I don't know. Again, I'm not a fucking scientist. I just know what I know, and I go with what I go with. So, crystals. I'm just gonna go with like the three major different, four actually, crystals that like what they're meant. So like sphere. Okay, yeah. You'll get spheres that are just like perfectly rounded, polished. I've been told by a crystal owner that spheres are very good to just radiate the energy that's coming from it, like in an even way. You know what I mean? It hasn't got like the rough edges and stuff like that. So these are really good to put in as like a centerpiece or in the middle of your room. It's really good for rooms and like areas. But then again, so are the raw cut ones, but they're probably a bit better to use as like a working stone, like in between the sphere and like a smooth, you know, smaller kind of palm stone, or like a little working stone. The rough ones are the best for that. So these are great to like pop under your pillow, have in your car, you know, places that you're going to be, but you're not going to always like have to take it with you, you know what I mean? Like, so again, it depends what you want it for. Again, like I'm not going to start going into all the different meanings for crystals. That's up to you if you want to do that. There's so much fucking information out there, so you can find what is good for you. Obviously, amethyst is a very popular one. These raw ones are so pretty. great for third eye opening, great for getting in touch with your intuition. In saying that though, I just found out, like, again, I'm just getting into crystals on like a bigger scale with things, but I just found out that, like, if you are a very 5D person and your mind's already very awoken to this stuff and you're very sensitive to like intuitive downloads and things like that, you actually don't want too much amethyst around, because it makes you too up in the air and too much in that 5D world, where we have to like come back down and be a bit more grounded and work in the physical and work in the 3D world with, you know, what's in front of us, our jobs, our lives, our kids, our families, you know, all those things. But if you're too much in that world and you want to get out of it and start opening, you know, up here and up here, this is a shit. Sleep with that. You'll start having fucking trippy dreams and stuff. Like, not to scare anybody, but like, it's not even that you start to have trippy dreams. You just probably remember your dreams a lot more. Great to work with if like you're going to be doing astral projection and stuff like that. Citrine is really, really good for, like, it's not the most powerful of them all, but it's pretty good for grounding and just like being in that like great mix of being grounded but being super fiery at the same time, to get your ambitions and get like what you want going and get you motivated, like the motivation of the grounding, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just want to ground and you want to sit and you want to be more calm, and that's when you start to like bring in like clears. Clear is great for that. Clear quartz is great for that. Just more to like, you know, go out and be one with like Mother Earth and Gaia and stuff. But citrine's really good if you're fucking, you know, want the motivation and the amp up in the 3D world. Again, there's so many different meanings and stuff, so raw's good for that. And again, these little working stones are great to bathe with, to shower with. It's good because they're polished, so you don't want to put too much raw stuff. This one's okay because it's got like almost a coating over it. Even though it's raw cut, it's like they've put a lacquer over it. This one's very raw, so it's almost like matte. Yeah, you don't want to be putting, it's very porous. You don't want to be putting that in your bath, in water too much, at the ocean and stuff. These are great to put in your pocket, to put in your bra, sleep with. Have these on your person all the time, your working stones. When whatever you want to try accomplish or you know, put into fruition and stuff like that, you go find it. What crystal's best for you? Like black tourmaline's great for like energy protection. If you feel like you got a lot of energy vampires around, you get you a little palm or like a little working stone like this that's nice and smooth, and that's great to always, but you need to cleanse your crystals, so you need to recharge them and you need to cleanse them. Why I'm saying water is a lot of people like to go to the ocean and put the stones in the water to cleanse them. You don't need to do that, but that's great. Like, if you identify with somebody that's really in touch with the ocean and stuff, I feel like that's great, and just whenever opportunity you get to do that, you really should. But don't go putting your raw porous stuff in there. Make sure you've got smooth ones. This one's pretty. But yeah, so that's little working stones for you. They're great. Like, oh, again, sorry, with the charging of them. So that's cleansing them, like in water and salt baths. You don't even have to go to the ocean. You can just get some water and put a little bit of salt in it, some Himalayan or sea salt in it, and just put them out in the sun or in the moon. And that's another thing. Suns and moons are great. The sun, the celestial body, is great to energize them. The moons, again, really great for the divine the divine feminine in us. It's really good to like reconnect us with the like the moon energy, the darker side, the shadow side, the large like higher astral planes and stuff like that. But the sun is great for the divine masculine, to give us like that surcharge of energy and light. So that's how you work with the sun and the moon. You can do that even with your own body. It's like, you don't need to just do it with your crystals. But again, it's like a living thing, and it's like with our plants, and it's very beautiful and holistic. And yeah, and the last one before we go off crystals, geodes are fucking dope and just beautiful. This is a very pretty one. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully it's focusing. But again, I like to just have these for aesthetics. I'm sure there'd be like some, you know, well, that's selenite. So, oh, that's another way I found out to charge your crystals if you don't get around to putting them in the sun or the moon. It's apparently selenite. You get selenite plates and they just recharge your crystals for you. I don't really know the like science behind all that, but apparently. So I'd go show you, but it's too far away. But I've got a little selenite plate for like a big rose quartz sphere that I have. But I still leave that in the sun anyway. I feel like you have to recharge your plate though. That would make sense to me. Like your selenite like bases or plates, I still feel like you need to go charge those up, and then you can just put your crystals in. Like now they have like nice little dishes and bowls that are selenite. But yeah, I've just got a clear crystal, you know, clear quartzy crystal bowl. So that's crystals for you guys. I'm just going to mark off the lists of things that we've been bloody chit-chatting about. God knows how fucking long this video is going to go for. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, next thing, candles. When you are doing a spell work, you're going to want candles. Each candle colour has a different, again, meaning, reason, purpose. Green, guess, money, abundance. Purple, ooh, again, these things will all tie into each other. Purple, purple, intuitive, intuitive, intuitive. So it's like things start to come around again, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Purple is good for like getting into your divine feminine, like opening up the third eye chakra, getting in touch with source, working more with your angels and your spirit team. Yeah, so that's purple. It actually smells super nice. I didn't realize I had sense to them. Red, can you guess? Love, and it's not just like romance, like, you know, self-love and stuff as well, but romance, obviously. But don't fuck with that shit too much, hey? Because like, and you know what's funny about being a witch? You're gonna get a lot of motherfuckers coming around thinking that you're doing spell work on them, and it's just like, pfft, boo, I ain't even gonna fuck with you. Like, this shit takes my energy. This shit takes a part of me. Like, careful who you're doing your spell work on if you choose to go down that avenue. The best way to do it, guys, and to stay safe and to admit and be the best you can be is to do your spell work for you. So if you love yourself enough, the right person will come and love you the way that you deserve and should be loved. None of this fucking fuckboy shit. Fucking, what is wrong with fucking people these days? Like, I love technology and I love that like we have that and we are living in a time that we have that, but it's just like, fuck, man, it has made people so fucking weird. Like, I'm a weird person, and that's coming from me. Like, anyway. I actually can't remember what yellow. What is it? Sacral. It's for like your sacral work, sacral chakra. You know, bringing in abundance. I'm pretty sure just more abundance, gratitude. Speak your, you know, graciousnesses and blessings into this. Again, with spell work, I don't know why I'm saying again because I haven't even spoken about this, but sorry guys, I'm fucking tired. I'm a mum, hey. I'm a mum, and I'm a single mum at that. Cue the little violin. Sub story. But no, I'm fucking tired, eh? Like, and I gotta go pick my daughter up from playgroup soon, but anyway. We still got a few more subjects to go, guys, so I hope you aren't too tired and you're enjoying listening to this. But candles, you will use them for spell work. That is basically their only purpose. Again, you don't have to use these pillars. I do like pillars. Pillars are great for spell work, but you will use your candles just for ambient reasons and like vibes as well. So pinks and reds are great for love and self-love. So when you have your fam over, pop a pink pillar candle on, and you know, just really get that vibe going. You know when you like you go into a house that has had no cleansing, no nothing, and it's stale and it smells like shit, and you're like, why am I here? I don't want to be here. This is disgusting. Like, or is that just me? Anyway, each to their own. I'm not fucking shading people for like how they live and stuff, but me personally, I like to create a vibe in my house and like have a flow and aesthetic, and I think most witches will. Hey, like, so yeah, pillars, and you know, you go into those houses that have candles and it's just cozy and it's nice and it smells nice and you vibe with it, and it's like that's what you want to do. So that's what candles are used for. And like obviously baths as well. You're not going to use one of these for your baths. You can sit in your bath and do spell work if you connect with water really well, but these are great for baths. Like I like to go within a bit more when I'm in the bath and just close my eyes and like shut down a bit more and breathe and do a lot of breath work. But so pillars are great for that. Yeah, tea lights, whatever candles are just great for that. And you're gonna want either a cauldron for your spell work, to like burn stuff, or a fire pit. A fire pit's great. It's actually fine. Like that's, again, with these things, you don't need like the most like state of the art, beautiful, gorgeous, like expensive shit. Like you can really just work with like basic shit and it still does the same thing. Like even if you don't want to fucking buy a deck of cards, like you can literally make your own. You like, I know before I was just like, these people going out and making all these different decks, but like say if you go off of a basic tarot deck, like if you're that poor and you can't buy a fucking deck, like I feel for you, let me know, hit me up and I'll fucking give you one. I'm not giving out decks to everybody, but yeah, like let's say like you're that just scarce and can't, you know, afford that at the moment, or it's just not in the books for you. Literally go online and like look at each card and their meaning, and then just write on a piece of paper the King of Cups, like the Page of Pentacles or whatever, and then shuffle them like on cardboard cards. Like why not? Do what the fuck you want and what works for you. Like that's the whole thing with this. So my candles off there. Yeah, so fire pit, great for like releasing rituals and like stuff you're writing down and burning, for bay leaves and stuff like that. If you want to, you know, I find a really great way to cleanse your house and to do a smoking ritual is to literally just basically put a little fire pit at the back door, open your doors up and like let the smoke come through, with some bay leaves and sage. These bubbers are basically what I'm talking about with that. If you don't want to do that, this is obviously an amazing way. White sage, there's so many different types of sage. You have blue sage, they've all got their own little different meanings. But and incense, another great way, just wave your incense around. That's just like really you working with the smoke and the tool again to just really like you're the one doing it, you know what I mean? Like releasing all that shit out of your house, getting it all out, telling it to fuck off, like standing in your power, you know. So great for that. Don't have any bay leaves on me, sorry, I burnt them all. I gotta get some more. Oils are great for your spiritual baths, salts, flowers, dried flowers, whatever you can get your fucking hands on. You don't need all those things, you can just even just have one. And yeah, they're great spiritual baths, like I was saying before, to just sit in there, meditate, do breath work, release stuff, and use. This is a great little spell. I like to claim it. I like to claim it because I've done this since I was like 8 years old, like in my visionary mind. I'd sit there in the bath at the end and drain it and like literally mentally and visually just picture the water draining out all the negative shit into the drain. And you know when it starts going you know what I'm fucking talking about. I know that it's just suction, but I'd like to think that that's all like the bad juju coming out and all the, you know, all the fucked shit. Like, so now I actually speak to it. Like, I reckon the best way to affirm shit into the universe is to speak it out loud, no matter how fucking dumb you sound. But I just speak into the bath, like, release all this negative stuff, please. Spirit, release it all and just fill me with light and love. Release it all and fill me with light and love. While the bath's draining out. And you can do the same with a shower. You don't need to have a bath. You can have spiritual showers. Just put your little oils in the bottom, you know, give yourself a salt scrub and then wash it all off and just, you know, affirm that shit in either in your mind or out loud or both. Well, the water's rushing off you and going into the drain and going into the sewer and going into the darks of the depths of the earth. So yeah, just little things. That's what I mean. You don't have to do all of these things. Like, whatever works for you. And it's not like an everyday thing. I'm not doing all this shit every single day of my life. Like, you find ways to incorporate it all. But, you know, I don't do tarot sometimes for a couple of weeks because I need the break and I need the recharge from it all. But then when my soul calls me back to it, it's there and I go to it. And I fuck with it. That's me. So up next we have books. You want your journal. You want a good journal. Just to write in, to do, you know, organize your life a bit more. That's just like basic. That's like not even witchy. I feel like everybody should have that. But yeah, so you want a good journal. Book of Shadows if you want a Book of Shadows. I'm not saying that that's all black magic. There's light work, like light spells in there as well. But if you're going to start getting like spell books, I really highly recommend like the love ones, for like self-love and stuff like that. I love this. It's a mind, body and spirit encyclopedia. So this motherfucker is just got every spiritual thing in the coven there, and it's great. So if you can find fucking things like this, these are priceless. Like, these, even if these books do cost, you know, start to go into the hundreds and stuff like that, it's really worth to have that there for the rest of your life. Like, think about the other shit that you spend money on that's like not serving you. At least this can serve your higher good and your purpose, and you know that it's money well spent, and that's what you're going to, you know, your intuition's going to tell you these things. When you start working with your intuition a lot more and trusting it and trusting what your inner voice is telling you, then these things are going to like come the way they are supposed to and what fits best for you. And you will, like, that's what a spiritual journey is. And that's why nobody is on the same spiritual journey. Everybody is on their own separate journey, because they will get information and retain information at different times, like, and what is going to serve them and what, you know, isn't going to serve them, for them to then correct what is going to serve them. So it's a very fine line and it's a very delicate art, but everyone and anyone can do it. So, oh, I thought I'd show you these. These are so fucking cool. I don't have a CD player, but how cool are these? They're like from the fucking 90s, I think, like late 90s, early 2000, and it's like audio books on CD, aspects of life, and it's just like the 12 houses and aspects of horoscopes. I'm not going to do anything about astrology in this video. I just don't want to, for some reason. That's just not coming to me, that I need to give you guys that information. If you want to go look somewhere else for that, I'm not talking about astrology really in that was like the only astrological thing that I was going to start fucking with. I still will always bring up shit, but it's not that I hate astrology. That sounded so harsh. I just don't think it's right for this video. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about divination tools, and astrology is, you know, obviously a part of us and our blueprint and everything, but it's a different aspect, I feel. I don't know. Correct me. What do you guys think? Like, let me know what you guys think. But again, back to these fucking things. How cool. Energies of life. Understanding the planetary archetypes and the elements of signs and zodiacs. So yeah, again, you want a good astrology book though. Like, I feel like most people who fuck with witchcraft fuck with astrology as well. It's just hand in hand. It all goes together. You can't really, like, once you go down that rabbit hole, that's just going to automatically like turn back around and come into the picture. So, yeah, I really feel like any witch just fucks with astrology anyway, but I just don't want to talk too much about it in this video because I don't want to drain out like the amount of time that I'm talking. And to be honest, I need a fucking drink. I'm getting a bit hot and thirsty. But yeah, so I'm not going to talk about astrology because it's such a large subject, and we'll go into that in the podcast and shit again anyway. So, but how fucking cool are these? Like, I need a CD player to listen to. Like, look how many CDs there are. Like, like, what the fuck, back to back shit. That's crazy. I got them off a good family friend. He gave me a lot of astrology books and CDs and stuff, and I'm like still yet to listen to those, but how cool. So yeah, you do need your literature, you need your external knowledge, like your means. So that's why I'm talking about books. That's how I'm going. That's where I'm going with all of this. But yeah, so you're definitely going to need those, and you'll figure that out and what's best for you. But just really, I recommend more than anything having a good, nice journal to just get, you know, like the moon calendar down in, because you're going to be working with a celestial body and bodies, and the moon goes through different phases, and the phases have different meanings. And especially if you're a woman and you menstruate as well, it's really good to figure out when you're menstruating what phase the moon is on, and then that is a very good confirmation and indication that that's what cycle you're going through. So we have like purple cycle, red, white, and they all have different meanings at different moon phases. So yeah, it's just a better way, I feel like, to just keep things in track. And it's always great to go look back on things, like even if it is silly, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get a really good laugh from it. So did I talk about essential oils before? I did, yes, I did. So I'm actually a qualified aromatherapist, and there's like actual scientific evidence that scent triggers different reactions and chemicals in different parts of your brains to produce different emotions and different feelings. So that's what aromatherapy is. You'll go to a proper aromatherapist and they'll get a good like reading basically of who you are and what you need and what you're looking for, whether it be pain, physical pain, you know, asthma, like a lot of medical conditions fall under it as well, and like skin disorders and stuff like that. So aromatherapy is really good at that. For like when you're inhaling it, you get the emotional reaction or the chemical reaction in your brain that's produced to then benefit whatever you're trying to fix or aid or heal. So yeah, aromatherapy is beautiful if you really are like into that. And I forget what the word is for people who like use their scent. Like you got clairaudient, who's like, you know, hearing, and then clairvoyant, which is like visual, like seeing, and then like telekinesis is like getting the energy signals like to your brain. But I can't remember what the one scent is. But anyway, you can Google it if you want. The next thing is pendulums. I've only just started playing with pendulums, but they're so fucking cool. You can get a full board, which a lot of people are like, is that a Ouija board? I'm like, no, it's not a Ouija board, which Ouija boards are fine. Like, it's just to connect with spirit. But it is basically, it's like, it's very similar. It's a very similar thing, but this is more just asking questions and getting answers. So if you don't have a pendulum board, you can make your own, or like, I don't have one yet, actually, but I just like to like pinpoint certain parts on the table. So like, to my left will be yes, to my right will be no. And like, you really are just, don't fuck with energies too much and ask too much from them and just demand shit. Like, you need to work with it as well yourself. So like, be specific. Yes, no, answer questions. You know what I mean? Like, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Will this or that? You know what I mean? As opposed to like, I'm moving. I would like to know if the fucking cat, I don't know. I can't even think of like a stupid random analogy in my head. But basically, like, what I'm getting at is just ask like clear questions that you're going to get a yes or no answer from. So let's just see, we'll do one right now. You really want to draw your energy into the cord. Look at the crystal. Do yes that side, no that side. Are people going to like this video? And then let it drop. It's going to yes. See how it's going to that side? Oh, I hope you guys do like the video. But yeah, that's basically how it works. And it may take a few times, but that's how I like to do it and concentrate my energy into it. See, it's going to no now. Yes, I did change hands. Okay, breathe in and out and focus on the crystal. Going to no now. Again, an opposite hand. So yeah, it takes a while, but you can get there. That's what pendulums are. It's not as spooky as people think. None of this shit really is. Like, it's more just not being a pussy and being afraid and not feeling like a dickhead and just being open and doing it and then reaping the rewards of it, because it's so much fun, like, and it's great. And like, this has never steered me off the wrong track. It's always put me where I'm supposed to be and like taught me what I need to know. So that's why I love it so much and I fuck with it so much. But scrying is the next thing. I got asked this the other night, what is scrying? I wrote it on a post that I did on my Instagram, and someone's like, scrying? Do you mean crying? Are you just sitting next to the fire crying? And I'm like, no, I'm scrying. And crying. But no, so scrying is looking into, I'm going to just use this as an example. Usually you get like a proper clear crystal ball and just stare into it until your visions start to appear. Even if it's not the actual vision in the ball, sometimes your mind's eye just takes you to it. You know what I mean? It depends on what you're specialized in and what, you know, you lean more towards and how you get your information. Again, people get their information from so many different ways. They hear it, some people see it visually like it's a little movie in front of them, some people have like a little movie in their brain. Some people hear stuff, they'll start hearing music will start playing in their heads, or they'll actually hear voices. It's whatever. When you're in that energy and you start to tap into it, yeah, that's what happens. So that's what scrying is. That's scrying into a crystal ball. You can scry in... of course my fucking phone dies. I was tricking the book. It's alright, guys. We're on the last topic. And it's probably the most important. Meditation. Sorry for all that. I just fucking... It's a lot. You probably won't even notice because I'll just like try mush it all together. But my phone did die. But anyway, so yes, meditation. Meditation is an amazing, amazing tool. I feel like it is like gym for your mind. It's like exercise for your mind. It's like going to the gym for your mind. I've heard people say that before, so I didn't come up with that. If you're just like, fuck you, man, you stole that from somebody. It's just like, everybody's stealing everything from everybody if you think about it. Anyway, so meditation. I know so many people out there are just like, I don't have time for meditation. I've got X, Y, and Z in my life, and there's no room for meditation, which is fine. I do highly recommend, though, that you do find time for meditation. Again, another one of those things. It's like, how important is it to you? And I feel like it's one of the most important things we as humans can do, in a sense, because it, again, enlightens us and awakens us, and can open our mind up to a completely different reality, basically, and in a knowing of yourself. Like, the things you find in meditation is just amazing. Like, there's no other way I could have found out some things that I found during meditation. And again, there's so many different types of meditation. You have guided meditation, you have frequencies, you can do it yourself. You don't even have to have anything to it. It's just being in that moment. Like, you can be on a rock, you can be at the beach, you can be sitting in your car, but it's just having that moment to like go within and breathe and be one and just feel yourself and your surroundings and where you are, and be able to drown them out and just go within. So one meditation I like to do is the body scan, which is like a visual meditation. Sorry, I keep licking my lips because I just ate some Doritos. Which sounds probably crazy to y'all, because you're just like, what? You're supposed to fuel your body with like the best Amanda to like vibrate at the highest frequency, but in moderation. I love me Doritos, okay? So just any type of corn chip is amazing. So that's why I'm doing that. But yeah, so meditation, and one I like to do is the body scan. So just visually in your mind, like once you calm down and get within, just in your mind, imagine like a golden beam. Doesn't have to be golden, whatever color, just like a beam, a horizontal line starting at your toes, and then just slowly scanning up to your whole body, and just either releasing whatever you want from that, releasing tension, releasing stress, releasing anxiety, and then just imagine like the quarter half or the other half that is, you know, then filling up. Another thing I know a lot of people like to do is like use it as water. So imagine that it's like water covering your body, like a wave almost. And if your mind doesn't let you just keep going and going and going, sometimes it will drag you back. Use that as a wave. Like, you know how the wave goes in, but then it comes up higher and then it comes up higher, like that. So that's a good one. Another one is just to do, like if you're feeling anxious and you don't have any other means, is just to block one side of your nose, close your eyes, and breathe in and out 5 or 10 times in that nostril, in and out, out of the nostril, and then that opens up that side of your brain, and then vice versa to this side. That's a really good one to just get oxygen in there and get it flowing, like all parts of your brain, get oxygen up there. So that's a great one. That's a form of meditation as well. And then you start going into like hypnosis and like past life regressions if you want to start meditating to like see your past life and stuff. But that's a whole nother kettle of fish. I feel like if you decide to go down the spiritual path, then, you know, the witch journey, if you're not already down it, then you'll eventually start to go into those avenues. Whatever you're comfortable with, whatever works with you. But past life regression is fucking dope. Like, it's so cool. I've done it a few times and seen who I was in a past life with like visual meditations, and it's amazing. Like, it's life-changing shit. So yeah, again, like, meditation's always going to aid you. It's never going to hurt you. Even if it feels like it, if it brings up some wounds and you purge and you cry and you feel emotions, that's okay, because it's coming out, it's releasing. So it's never, ever, ever to hurt you. It's always to help heal you and aid you and make, you know, you a better, more evolved person. So in saying that, if you don't want to do it in your waking hours, sleep frequency is a great thing. So just go into YouTube, Spotify, whatever, and get your like fucking different frequencies going. What are they called again? Binaural beats or whatever they are. That's like the sleep beats, which is saying just like frequencies, like lo-fi frequencies. But yeah, once you start to fuck with frequencies and understand it, you notice that just like all my music's basically based around it. You either have lo-fi or hi-fi frequencies. They'll just emit at different frequencies. So most, like, you know, dance music and pop music and music that we listen to on a day-to-day basis is all like high frequencies. That's why JB hi-fi. Yeah, so hi-fi, high frequency. So yeah, I think most people know that, but some people don't. So that's what we're here to do, to just talk about the basics. So yeah, put a sleep frequency on while you sleep, and different frequencies do different things. You have like cell restoration or regeneration ones. You have like bring in self-love, bring in abundance, bring in your soulmate, like whatever you want. So yeah, just type in frequencies or sleep frequencies on any of those search engines for music. And yeah, get that shit pumping while you're sleeping. If there's no other way for you to get meditation in, if you really feel like so hard done by, no, I'm joking. But you know what I mean. If things do happen, and sometimes you're just not even in the fucking mood to do that shit, so it's fine. But what ends up subconsciously happening in the programming of your mind anyway is, if you put those frequencies on while you sleep, you heal anyway. It's a subconscious thing, and it's just an environmental thing where it's like you end up just, and an evolution thing where you end up healing anyway whilst you're sleeping through the frequencies that it makes you want to meditate in your waking life a bit more, because it starts to heal things. So if you're feeling really fucking down and out, start sleeping with frequencies, please. I really recommend it. Yeah, and guess what, guys? That brings me to the last subject, which isn't even really a subject. It's more of just a shout out to all of yous. And I just want to say that I'm going to put a list in the description box, or maybe the comment section, not sure yet, either, of my favorite YouTube / Patreon, even though I don't have a Patreon account. But most of them are on Patreon. My favorite YouTube readers, tarot readers. I do have in my life listened to a lot of different readers, and sometimes been like, this is bullshit, and then sometimes been like, what the fuck, why is this is so spot on and accurate and amazing. And that's why I do it. And I hope mine resonate with people, and I know they do, because I've got my client base of clients. Is that the right word? I don't know. Getting tired. I gotta fucking wrap this up because I gotta go see my daughter and pick her up from playgroup. But I'm gonna leave a list of my favorite tarot readers for all of y'all that love that and love that shit and want to fuck with that. Just a couple off the top of my head is like Beautiful Love Tarot. She's so fucking cool. I've only just come across her, and she's hilarious Canadian gal. Got the best voice, so sassy, so sexy, best love readings. Just very intelligent people. Avalon Intuitive, she's amazing. A woman from New Zealand, I've got a personal reading from her before, and she's just amazing. So analytical and very, 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 very large archive of knowledge that woman has. Same with Happy Twins 1111. Can be a bit confronting sometimes, these ones, but they're really great, and they're really, really spot on and on the mark. I'm trying to think of a couple other Aussie ones. Hermit Tarot, I love her so much. I've listened to her for so long. She's amazing. She's up north somewhere. Amber Rose, I think her name is. Amber's Tarot, Amber Love Tarot. I'll put these in the list down below. Antphrodite, I think that's his name. He's like the gamer guy, and he streams on Twitch as well. I'll put all of these down below, but they're really good people, amazing people with so much knowledge, just so gifted, channeling just amazing messages from the divine and for the collective. And these people deserve fucking accolades of gratitude and recognition for what they do and how they help people, and it's amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. Wrap it up, and fucking I love yous guys so much. Yous are my fam. We're all one big family. Anyway, I really hope you liked it, and please share, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do with it all, and I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Quickly, thanks again for everybody who ran up the podcast. That was so fucking dope. There's going to be more episodes very shortly, so stay tuned for those as well, guys. Still tossing between what the first episode is actually going to be about. We have subjects lined up, but it's like, oh, fuck, which one do you choose first? Because there's so many good ones. But yeah, I'm really, really grateful for that. And yeah, I really hope you guys like my content. So if not, it's fine. It's more for my own creative juices, but it is for you guys as well, because I love yous and I want yous to have the best information you can, and come from like a good source. So that's me. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace, and I'll see you in the next video.